The NBA is cracking down on its players. Jimmy Butler sounds off on his decision to join the Miami Heat. Devin Booker plays the best game of his career. We gotta talk about that plus a few other games. But with that being said, yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee. How y'all doing today? Hope you're all having a fantastic day from whichever part of the world you might be watching this from. Go ahead and destroy that like button, as it does help the channel grow. But not only that, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you don't miss out on more videos like this every Monday through Friday. That is 5 days a week. But with all of that being said, let's just get into everything that we gotta talk about today. Let's get it, let's go. We got some breaking news coming out this morning. Matter of fact, right before I was set to record this video, I got hit with the news, we got hit with the news that Atlanta Hawks forward John Collins will now be suspended 25 games for violating the NBA's anti-drug program. A release came out from the NBA this morning saying John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks has been suspended without pay for 25 games for violating the terms of the NBA anti-drug program by testing positive for growth hormone releasing peptide GHRP2. It was announced by the NBA today, and that suspension starts tonight against the San Antonio Spurs, which is ironic because for the Atlanta Hawks, this was finally going to be the game that they were back at full strength, as Trae Young, who sprained his ankle just last week, a very minor sprain, is set to make his return tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Young comes back, Collins goes out. 25 games, just like DeAndre Ayton. Players out here juicing up and then getting caught by the NBA and having to serve 25 games. We got a pretty interesting article out yesterday regarding Jimmy Butler. It was an interview with Yahoo Sports, and in this interview, Jimmy Butler was kind of sounding off on the people who had something to say about his decision as a man, his decision as a free man in this country to leave the Philadelphia 76ers and join the Miami Heat. And Jimmy Butler in this article didn't hold back whatsoever. The man even alluded to some potential controversy behind the scenes in Philly. This is what he had to say: stuff just don't work out. Nobody knows what really went on in Philly, and we're going to leave it that way. But it was a great opportunity for me. Definitely some things happened behind the scenes, but I mean, come on. Jimmy Butler also in this article said what I've been saying, and that is that his destination was always going to be the Miami Heat. 2 whole years ago, when he first asked to be traded by the Minnesota Timberwolves, where did Jimmy Butler ask to go? Where did he ask to go? He asked to go to Miami. He asked to go to the Miami Heat. That was one of the destinations, that was the main destination that he gave. So for anyone to say that they're surprised, shocked, angered, frustrated, whatever you want to say about Jimmy Butler's decision to join the Miami Heat, I don't know how you didn't see it coming. I have no idea how you didn't see it coming. Jimmy Butler was made to play for the Miami Heat. He said in this interview that the reason he wanted to join the Heat was because of the culture that the Heat have. He knows the type of players that Pat Riley is going to let into his organization. If you're not a player that works hard, if you're not a player that's striving to get better every single day, you're not going to be able to get minutes playing for the Miami Heat. That's the way Pat Riley runs his ship. And that's something that Jimmy Butler has been saying that he's been looking for in his teammates. He wants a group of guys that he can lead. Now with that out the way though, we gotta talk about some of these games that have been going down to the NBA. We had some pretty good ones last night, and one of those being the Houston Rockets coming back and beating the Memphis Grizzlies. The Houston Rockets sort of redeeming themselves after they got smacked around by the Miami Heat. 107-100 the final score in this one. No Russell Westbrook as he was out due to quote-unquote rest. Harden, 44 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Once again, this man is averaging over 35 points per game. Do you guys know that if James Harden this year averages 35 points per game, he will have been the only other player in NBA history besides Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain to average 35 points per game in back-to-back seasons. This is a very special talent that we are witnessing in James Harden. And I'd rather live in the moment and enjoy the talent while it's here than one day look back and say, dang, he really was that good, and I was spending too much time hating on him. The Milwaukee Bucks trounced all over the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. 134-106 the final score. No Karl Anthony Towns in this game as he was serving a suspension for his fight with Joel Embiid. And I was kind of interested in this game because I wanted to see how the Wolves were going to respond to missing Karl Anthony Towns. I wanted to see how the rest of the guys were going to step up, especially against a team as great as the Milwaukee Bucks. But as you guys know, it appears that the Wolves really do need Karl Anthony Towns because they couldn't get the job done without him. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 34 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. Chris Middleton also playing well with 26, as well did Eric Bledsoe, who had 22 points and 9 rebounds and 6 assists. The Brooklyn Nets just spoiled Brandon Ingram's career night. 135-125 the final score in this one. And Brandon Ingram in this game, a career high 40 points. 40 points. Scoring a lot of points, but it's just a shame that the Pelicans have been so awful defensively that no matter how many points Brandon Ingram scored, it still wasn't going to help them get the win. I mean, the Pelicans this year have been atrocious on the defensive end. Do you guys know that only one team hasn't scored at least 120 points against them? And that team was the OKC Thunder. And even they managed to score 115 points. I mean, the Pelicans, they're missing Zion Williamson, but y'all can at least start trying on the defensive end. Kyrie Irving, 39 points and 9 assists. The Uncle Jew show was in full effect last night. The Washington Wizards trounced all over my Detroit Pistons, 115-99. Now the Pistons were still without 3 point guards. They're 3 point guards, but I'm not going to make any excuses because this was a game against the Washington Wizards. And of course, they're missing a guy like John Wall, but still, I guess it is what it is. Bradley Beal, 22 points on the night. The Portland Trail Blazers just got upset by the Golden State Warriors. No Draymond Green, no D'Angelo Russell, and the Warriors still beat the Blazers 127-118. Eric Pascal, the rookie, the 41st pick in the draft, scoring 36 points. Can someone tell me what is going on with this rookie class? Can someone please explain to me how this rookie class has been this good without its headlining act? Without Zion Williamson. We got the 41st pick in the draft when everyone thought the Warriors were about to lose just about every game this season since they're sitting D'Lo, sitting Dre, don't have Stephen Clay. And you got the 41st pick coming out here and dropping 36 points and beating the Portland Trail Blazers despite Damian Lillard dropping 39. Can someone please explain to me what's been up with this draft class? We got rookies out here shooting 50% from 3, 50% from the floor, 18, 19 points per game, good at picking up assists. What is going on with this rookie class? How are these kids coming into the league so good this year? And the last thing that we have to talk about today, the last but certainly not least thing that we had to talk about today. Now, there was no Joel Embiid in this game. Let's get that out the way first and foremost. He, of course, also serving his suspension for his fight with Karl Anthony Towns. But you remember the Phoenix Suns also don't have DeAndre Ayton. He's been serving his 25-game suspension since the second game of the season. And the Phoenix Suns, without DeAndre Ayton, are actually winning games. People, what is going on here? If you were to ask any living thing in this galaxy whether or not the Phoenix Suns would win their first 5 out of 7 games, not a single person would have said yes, especially if you were to throw in the fact that they will be without DeAndre Ayton for 6 of those games. What is going on here, people? 114-109, the final score. Devin Booker, 40 points, 15 of 19 shooting from the field. That is 76%. 3 of 4 from 3, that's 75%. Made all of his free throws, that's 100%. And this was 100% the best game of his career. I don't care how many 60 and 70 point games he's had, this was the best game of his career because it resulted in a win over a good team. The Philadelphia 76ers were undefeated coming into this game. Undefeated. And Devin Booker drops 40. Shout out to Aaron Baines. Aaron Baines, in the absence of DeAndre Ayton, has been playing magnificently. 15 points, 5.7 rebounds, 3.2 assists as their starting center. This guy's been a backup basically his whole career. Never really had his time to shine. He got some time starting there in Boston, a little time here and there. He was a starter when you really needed him to, but no one really needed him to be a starter. But now he's starting and he's been playing magnificent. The guy is shooting 46% from 3. He couldn't shoot a 3 a couple of years ago. And now he's shooting 46%. This Phoenix Suns team could be special. I mean, we could be talking about a team who has been the worst team in the NBA for the past, 4 or 5 years. And then all of a sudden, now they're challenging for a spot in the competitive Western Conference playoffs. They're the 2nd seed right now. I got nothing but respect for what's going on in Phoenix. I take back what I said about DeAndre Ayton and him getting suspended being the worst thing that could have happened to them to start their season. Clearly it wasn't. I'm interested to see what it's going to look like when he gets back, how that's going to affect their chemistry and all that other stuff. But as of right now, this team is serious. These aren't fluke wins. This is serious. That though is going to lead us to the player of the day, the portion of the video where you guys had the opportunity to vote for who you think was the best player in the league last night by clicking the little eye icon in the top right hand corner of the video. But with that out the way, here are the nominees for today. First up, you got Eric Pascal, the rookie, the 41st pick in the draft, dropping 36 points to go along with 13 rebounds. Next up, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo and his 34 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. Devin Booker and the best 40 points he's ever scored. James Harden and his 44 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Or Kyrie Irving and his 39 points and 9 assists. Yesterday, the player of the day was none other than Luka Doncic and his 29 points, 15 assists, and 14 rebounds in his dominant, the Mavericks' dominant win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. That is going to do it for today though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of the day because you guys already know that you are the real MVPs. Before you go though, once again, make sure that you like the video and as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more videos like this every Monday through Friday. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, but until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!